I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and it's unboxing time of the T-Mobile myTouch. But first, some love to Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with phones like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working to help you set up your email, your web, your contacts, and more. So when you walk out the door, you're good to go. Let's take a look. myTouch, is it the best device? Let's find out in the unboxing. You walk into the T-Mobile store, you buy this for your significant other, you come home and you're like, look, I know you like myTouch, so I got you this device so you could be reminded of me. You know what? It's Bad Joke Monday. Come on now. That's how we roll at Phone Dog. You know how I am with my bad jokes. This is the T-Mobile myTouch designed by Huawei, not Huawei, not Huawei. It's Huawei, H-U-A-W-E-I, and there have been a couple of myTouch devices, so it gets kind of confusing between these and the LG devices and all the different devices that have been in the myTouch line, but hey, you know what? Apparently it doesn't matter because there's another myTouch device, and it's actually one of two. This is the T-Mobile myTouch. There's also the myTouch Q, which is very similar in terms of design, look, and feel, and they're both coming to T-Mobile on August 8th. Special thanks to T-Mobile for giving us review units to take a look at and put on video for you on the site. So let's take a look at some of the specs here. These aren't cutting edge by any means, but when they come to T-Mobile on August 8th for $49.99 with a $50 mail-in rebate, they're going to give users a different option outside of some of the high-end stuff. The Amaze 4G, the Galaxy S3, all of those devices, the Galaxy Note, and more. Specs-wise, you're looking at a 1.4 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon S2 processor. You get a 4-inch display here, and this is what the box looks like. And I'm going to actually open it up while we're talking here so we can kill two birds. Actually, we don't kill birds here. That's really mean. We're a technology site based around a dog. I don't kill birds. That's just mean. So we're going to try and do two things at once here, and I always have a problem talking and removing stickers. So I'm going to let that speak for itself. But 1.4 gigahertz, single-core Snapdragon S2 processor. It's got a 4-inch display, a WVGA display with 800 by 480 pixels, a 5-megapixel camera with 720p HD video recording, and in the box you get a start guide, you get terms and conditions, safety and warranty information, and then a little thing to return the device. And you get a charger here. Let's take a look at Huawei's charger, because we actually haven't seen very many of these in the US. So it's an AC adapter module, obviously, with Huawei's logo up top. And then you've got your place for your USB cable, and then right there, as if it knew I was talking about it, a USB cable. So you don't get a whole lot out of the box. You get some nice plastic wrap to play with, but that's about it. And then here is the device itself. Again, $50 when you buy it in store on August 8th. Then it's got Wi-Fi calling, of course, a 3.5mm headphone jack up top with your power button. Nothing on this side with the exception of a physical camera button, your volume rocker over here, and your micro USB charging port down at the bottom. On the back, 1,500 milliamp hour battery here. It's got 4G LTE, or excuse me, not LTE, 4G HSPA Plus capability, since T-Mobile is sticking with HSPA Plus at least for right now. So it's loading up. Let's take a look at this and see what this device looks like. Again, getting started with myTouch. So let's go ahead and see if we can skip out of this just really quickly. See what we need to do here. Next. Next. We're going to go ahead and do that later. And let's see what we can do here. Touch to close. You know, and all in all, you think of this, you look at this, you're like, 1.4 gigahertz single-core Snapdragon S2 processor might not be the most amazing thing in the world. But again, for a mid-range device, not bad at all. And battery is empty. Phone will shut down in 30 seconds. So let's hurry up and see what we can do to get this loaded up and ready to go before. Let's see what we got here out of the box. T-Mobile applications, 411 and more. Access T-Mobile, CMAS, whatever that is, Gallery, Gamebase, Google Plus, Mobile Life, More For Me, Music Hub, Netflix, and then set up, and we're clearly going to have to plug this thing in because it's dying. So I'm going to bring a charger over here. So the battery's charged up enough where we can finish up this unboxing, and then actually, for whatever reason, it's showing 62% with just like 10 minutes of charge, so not quite sure what's going on there. But out of the gate, like I said, some T-Mobile applications pre-installed, and unfortunately, much like the myTouch Q, which is kind of the partner device, if you will, to the myTouch, the T-Mobile applications can't be uninstalled. So a little bit of a bummer for those that don't need the T-Mobile applications, want to get them uninstalled to save memory, but can't, or save room rather, but can't. So this is the myTouch, 0.41 inches thick, 4.9 ounces. That's in comparison to, and forgive me while I look at my cheat sheet here, 6.5 ounces on the myTouch Q, thanks to that physical QWERTY keyboard. It's a 5-megapixel camera, and you've got a customized myTouch look and feel here on this device. A little different user interface. You've got some shortcuts down here, messages, browser, and email, and I assume, yeah, you can remove those and add and remove as you see fit. So if you use Google Talk, for example, or Twitter, for example, more, you can throw stuff in and out from there. So messages, we'll take a look at those out of the gate. Let's see, welcome to T-Mobile. There's my phone number, 206-235-5878. And you've got swipe out of the gate. Again, 4-inch display, WVGA, 800 by 480 pixels. Should be fine for most people. And it's got swipe pre-installed out of the box along with a stock Android keyboard. So again, keeping in mind that this is running Gingerbread, you'll notice an old favorite here, the Gingerbread keyboard out of the gate. So we'll say the Quick Brown Fox is happy to be alive and healthy. Quick Brown Fox is happy to be alive and healthy. You can of course attach here. 4-inch display, going to be fine for most people, but for those migrating down from maybe the 1S with a 4.3-inch display or 4.5 or 4.7 or 4.8 display, you get the idea. It can be kind of challenging to go back to a smaller display. That said, you got the Android keyboard. If Swipe's your thing, that is pre-installed as well, though I'll be the first to tell you I'm terrible at Swipe. That's not too bad. Nope, that's pretty bad. Never mind, just kidding. So Swipe pre-installed. Then you have HSPA Plus capabilities here. So T-Mobile's 4G pre-installed on this device and ready to go. So Phone Dog will load up the best phone news and phone reviews on my myTouch. And Phone Dog's loading up right now. Pinch to zoom, relatively responsive. Page isn't done loading just yet. But again, you know, with basic tasks here, you're really not going to notice the difference between the single-core processor in this device and a dual-core processor or even a quad-core processor in a higher-end device. That said, anything more than casual web browsing, maybe doing some text messages, you get into like graphically intense things, you're probably going to notice the difference. That said, portrait to landscape transitions, relatively responsive here. I kind of like the cute little animation thing it's got going on here where it's like, whoa, and like it shifts too far and shifts back, as you see there. Woo! Woo, vertigo! Woo, vertigo! You get the idea there. Pinch to zoom, again, relatively responsive. My jokes crack me up. I hope they crack you up. And then again, T-Mobile stuff out of the gate. 5 home screens here, and you don't really get a whole lot of widgets outside of course, the stock Android widgets, and then some stuff out of the gate with the myTouch stuff, like Genius Search, and then some T-Mobile stuff, Mobile Life Calendar, and things like that. Setup, T-Mobile TV, and more out of the gate. No real Huawei widgets, with the exception of this. This looks to be a new weather widget that loads up and goes into AccuWeather. So that's a nice little touch. And then, of course, some background wallpaper, some different background wallpapers on this device. It look really nice as well. So again, keeping in mind this device is $50. Not a bad buy here. If I were a lot of people, though, I'd consider jumping for the extra $50, $100, getting something like the 1S, the Galaxy S3, the Amaze 4G, some of these other devices. I think even the Amaze 4G, as old as it is in cell phone land, it still beats the myTouch and the myTouch Q. That said, if you got $50 after rebate, and this is a device you want, it seems to be a pretty decent device. We'll dive more into this in the full review, but in the meantime, keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of the myTouch and the myTouch Q, T-Mobile's newest devices in the myTouch lineup. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com. Follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Check out this nifty little unlock screen. That's pretty cool. Sorry I got sidetracked. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. And let me know what you think of these devices on Twitter at PhoneDog_Aaron and on Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Stay tuned for more on the myTouch, the myTouch Q, and a bunch of other T-Mobile devices as these Android devices continue to hit the marketplace. I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. We'll see you next time.